1. Victorians once used leeches to predict the weather. George Merriweather was a Victorian doctor and a fan of poetry. In fact, it was in a poem that he found the inspiration to build the Tempest Prognosticator, a kind of barometer powered by leeches. The 3-foot-tall contraption was as beautiful as it was intended to be useful. The brass and mahogany structure held 12 glass vials in place, each of which contained a single leech. If it was going to rain soon, the leeches would slither to the top of the vial. By the end of his project, Merriweather had grown so attached to his leeches, he swore that they had befriended him. Unfortunately, only a few of them were actually successful at predicting the weather. Others, he wrote, were absolutely stupid. 2. Your funny bone is actually a nerve. The name, funny bone, comes from the humerus bone, which connects the shoulder to the elbow. However, that's not the source of the tingling sensation you feel when you bump your elbow just right. It's actually the result of the humerus bone coming into contact with the ulnar nerve, which is responsible for telling the brain about feelings in the ring and pinky fingers. 3. The chief translator of the European Parliament speaks 32 languages fluently. Since 2002, the Greek translator Ioannis Ikonomou has been the chief translator of the European Parliament. With 32 languages under his belt, he merits the position. He initially moved to Brussels to be an interpreter, a valuable position in the EU capital, but after he learned all 12 official languages of the EU, he kept going and now speaks even more, including Bengali, Swahili, and Turkish. 4. The most requested funeral song in England is by Monty Python. A survey of funeral directors by Cooperative Funeral Care, for the BBC, found that the most frequently requested song to play at funerals in the United Kingdom is "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life" by Monty Python, from their irreverent comedy classic Life of Brian. It beat out Frank Sinatra's "My Way." 5. Research shows that all blue-eyed people may be related. At least, they may share the same distant ancestor. After studying the DNA of blue-eyed individuals from Scandinavia, Turkey, Jordan, and India, Danish researchers found that they all had identical gene sequences for eye color. They believe this trait comes from a single individual, called the founder, whose genes mutated between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago. Before that, everyone had varying shades of brown eyes. 6. Charles Darwin's personal pet tortoise didn't die until recently. Okay, technically she wasn't his pet, but after his tour of the Galapagos Islands, Charles Darwin brought back a 5-year-old tortoise he named Harriet. She outlived her adopter by 124 years, ultimately making it to a whopping 176 years old. Harriet lived out her final years as part of the family of Steve crocodile hunter, Irwin in Australia, until she passed away in 2006. 7. The average person will spend 6 months of their life waiting for red lights to turn green. Driving can be a fun and liberating activity, until you get stuck at a red light, that is. The National Association of City Transportation Officials says that the average time spent waiting at a red light is 75 seconds, accounting for approximately 20% of all driving time. That's a whole lot of time doing nothing and just another reason to switch to public transportation. 8. A bolt of lightning contains enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. If you consider that each bolt of lightning contains more than 5 billion joules of energy, then the average 1,000-watt, 2-slice toaster could be powered for 84,000 minutes with just one strike. That's just enough time to toast about 100,000 slices of bread, bagels, English muffins, whatever you prefer. 9. President Lyndon B. Johnson owned a water surfing car. Always the joker, Lyndon B. Johnson would surprise guests at his Texas ranch by driving them down the hill in his amphicar, claiming the brakes had gone out. Once it hit the lake, their panic would subside when they realized the car had been designed to function in water. 10. David Bowie helped topple the Berlin Wall. While David Bowie's trio of albums recorded in Berlin are considered among his best work, it's not the only legacy he has in the German city. In 1987, his performance of Heroes in front of the Reichstag as part of the concert for Berlin was loud enough and close enough to the wall to be heard in East Berlin, where such music was forbidden. It sparked a police crackdown, and, according to The Guardian, many of the eyewitnesses claim that the violent police crackdown on the third night of the concerts were crucial in changing the mood against the state. 11. Cherophobia is the word for the irrational fear of being happy. No, it's not the fear of share, as the name might lead you to believe. It comes from the Greek word, chero, which means to rejoice. People who suffer from cherophobia are often afraid, cripplingly so, of doing anything that might lead to happiness. This includes participating in fun activities and rejecting opportunities that may lead to positive outcomes. 12. You can hear a blue whale's heartbeat from 2 miles away. The blue whale is the largest animal on the planet, weighing up to 150 tons and measuring up to 90 feet long. Naturally, an animal this massive would have an equally huge heart. Roughly the size of a small car, the blue whale's heart weighs about 1,300 pounds. To move blood through its colossal body and arteries, its heart beats so powerfully, you can hear it from 2 miles away. You just might miss it, though, as its heart only beats 8 to 10 times per minute. 13. Nearly 30,000 rubber ducks were lost at sea in 1992 and are still being discovered today. Over 25 years ago, a cargo ship traveling from Hong Kong to the United States accidentally lost a shipping crate in the Pacific Ocean. Inside that crate were 28,000 rubber ducks unwittingly about to embark on many long journeys across the globe. As rubber ducks continue to pop up on shores from Australia to Alaska, they've enlightened our understanding of ocean currents. Some have made it all the way to the Atlantic Ocean while others have been found frozen in Arctic ice. 14. There's a Manhattan-specific ant. On Broadway medians between 63rd and 76th Streets, biologists discovered a new species of ant. They named it ManhattAnt, naturally. Hey, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. 15. The inventor of the Frisbee was turned into a Frisbee after he died. Steady Ed Hedrick invented the Frisbee in the 1950s, then went on to create the sport of disc golf in the 1970s. When he died in 2002, his final wish was to have his ashes turned into, what else? A Frisbee. His son said it was his father's dream that they play with him after death and that he might even accidentally end up on someone's roof. Thanks for watching videos. Please let me know your opinion and leave it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel to watch new videos.